These phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Spring is a time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Fuhrer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter, or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Happy Hour.
Gina Mancuso Prasowski of the Omaha Supernovas. You've played professionally for a few years. How emotional was that first match?
When I graduated the University of Nebraska, I thought that was it. I'll never play in front of my hometown. And going overseas where no one knows you, so you feel that isolation to play in front of my family and friends. It's a dream come true. That first time I got on the court at the beginning of our season and the crowd erupted, I mean, it took everything in me not to expose my emotion.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Block with Strick and Austin.
Now, to tie it back to Nebraska men's basketball, this group has a chance to do something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
In making a run in the Big Ten tournament, a serious run, in winning the first NCAA tournament game, but they're not going to get there by doing the same things they've always done. It is on this team to step up and change that narrative. It won't change on its own. Teams won't lay over for you, and that's the mindset shift we haven't consistently seen yet.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
What a week. What a week. What a week. We appreciate you all being along for the ride here during On the Block. We're with you for the next couple hours or so. Who are we? I'm Austin Norman, joined by Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA veteran, rocking the Mavs gear today, Erick Strickland. Stricky,
yay.
What a week, man.
Yeah, man. What a week. What a week. It's gone by. It just really flew by. There's a lot going on, especially down there in the old big red country of Memorial Stadium and that transition. We've talked it exhaustively.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed it exhaustively. You guys have chimed in, and I'm sure you're probably heavy on the weights of that discussion just as much as we are. Kind of gordo or big and fat on the scale for that one. But nonetheless, it is a national story. This isn't just a local story here for us Huskerites.
Mm-hmm.
It is a national story, and it's one that they've been discussing as well. And that's why the topic has come up with the question that you have for us today.
Yeah, to Strick's point, we'll get into that here in a minute, and then definitely next segment as well. Why do athletic directors leave Nebraska so frequently? Just looking back through the history here, it's kind of crazy just how few guys in Nebraska's history have stuck around longer than 5 or 6 years. You think about, this list that I found here dates all the way back to 1920. There's some guys in charge before that, but even those guys didn't stick around for more than 5-6 years. Looking at this list here, Strick, longest tenured AD at Nebraska, Bob Devaney. Is also football coach for a chunk of that tenure as well, the last 5-6 years of his head football coaching tenure. He was also the athletic director. Let's just start there.
Different time.
how different is it that you could be the athletic director and the head football coach? Like, I get that at like a Class C1 or a Class D high school, but in major intercollegiate athletics, to be the athletic director and the head football coach, that's like that's probably even more than being like head coach general manager for like a pro team.
Yeah, it's changed so much, right? Just the recruiting processes. Probably a lot of the recruiting outside of the major recruits that you had was done by way of mail. You communicated a good chunk of the time by way of mail and maybe phone calls. And probably back in Devanning's time, you had to do the plug phone. No, I'm just kidding. It's
rotary
not
phone.
That's just think about
wait
how
for
long
the operator.
Think about how long it took in that recruiting process back then. But no, it's just way different the way that you recruited. The rules that were in place and all of that. It just was so different. You probably didn't travel as much as they do now.
Not as far.
So yeah, it was very regionally dominated. And so as you got, that process escalated. I mean, look, Tom Osborne was able to do a little form of that, but not to the extent that it's just too much today. Too many things, too many. Just think about how tough it was for Trev, just in what he was doing and trying to accomplish here for the University of Nebraska and all the hats you have to wear. I think it's hard. It's difficult. I look at Fred and just think about trying to coach a team, prepare for a team, recruit the team that's on campus, recruit the team that's off campus, NIL. You've got to go and meet with these people. Like, they need more staff. Like, I'm just going to be honest with it. They need more staff. They need to be more paid staff because it's just too many things for too many hats to be worn. It just makes the process really, really difficult.
And I think there's a fine line between needing more people and bloat, having unnecessary positions. But I think about it from the lens of football. What did Nick Saban do that revolutionized college football? Beefed up his recruiting staff. That's what he did. There's no limit on how many recruiting staffers you can have to make official visits go smoothly, to keep track of stuff behind the scenes. That's what Nick Saban did. That's what set him and Alabama apart, was the recruiting and how they handled that. Scrolling through this list of former athletic directors in Nebraska history, the first one, Raymond Clapp, also coached men's basketball for a while. You look at Jumbo Steam. Here's this one, Stricky. He was AD from 1911 to 1915, as well as being the head football coach, as well as being the head basketball coach.
Wow.
That's 3 hats
on
the one guy there. He had the same thing with E.J. Stewart, who took over for Jumbo Steam. But then you had the head swimming coach, serves athletic director during his time. The head football coach after him. Dana Bible, football coach, also AD. Biff Jones, football coach, also AD. Adolph J. Lewandowski, head football coach, head men's basketball coach, and head baseball coach while serving as athletic director. George Clark was the head football coach. Then the next 2 guys didn't have any coaching responsibilities before you get to Bob Devaney, who was the football coach and then also the athletic director emeritus for a few years. You look at Tom Osborne, who was the head football coach, but didn't serve those 2 roles at the same time. And yeah, I get it. Like 1911, 1915, even 1960 is a long time ago. But it's kind of crazy just how much, Strick, intercollegiate athletics have changed to where it was even a thought that these guys could handle those responsibilities because it made sense, to fold them in some degree to save some of that money. And you had a smart guy in place to use him. Now it's just absolutely unthinkable.
Well, you think about back in the day, there was a song that Wu-Tang Clan used to have, and it went like this. It said, "Can it be that it was all so simple then?" Like, yeah, that's just how simple the things were back then. It was just, life was so much simpler back then. You just you'd wake up and you'd go outside and you'd play and you would hang out with your friends. And now everybody stays inside. Don't ride bikes. Don't go to the park. Don't, it was so much more simple back then. In the same way that life has become more complex and you got all these different things now, kids, like, I couldn't imagine the technology, the way that the kids handle the technology now. It's like they're freaking whiz kids before they even come out the womb. And so now it's just so much different. And so it's it's a beautiful thing. And this is why we appreciate those who are on the block and those listeners, those blockheads who come and listen, because we know that you appreciate, the depths of the content sometimes that we share with you.
You'll go Wu-Tang Clan, I'll go Bob Dylan. Over the times they are a-changin'.
Yeah.
Have changed, absolutely. That's a good look back. I want to keep that going. All the reasons that these athletic directors have left have been different, but really over the last 30 years, maybe 20, 25 years, somewhere in that range, it's been constant turnover for Nebraska athletics. Why? What's gone into that? Let's go back, to about the Greg Byrne, Bill Byrne tenure. Bill Byrne, obviously not Greg. The Bill Byrne tenure. Why did he leave? Why did the guys after him leave? Does Nebraska need a stable voice of the athletic director position, or can they keep getting by with the changeover every 5 or 6 years? We want your thoughts on the text line 402-464-5685. Thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers for sponsoring that. Thanks to Nebco for being the title sponsor of our show. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Join us on Saturday, March 16th for Taylor Swift Night at the Icebox. We'll be jamming to the best hits from Travis Kelce's Girlfriend all night, and you can be part of the fun too. The first 500 fans in attendance will receive a friendship bracelet, while the first 200 fans will get a Stars Taylor Swift themed poster. Are you ready for it? Get your tickets now at LincolnStars.com.
Erick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. They encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care. Back in action this Saturday, March 16th, versus the Orlando Valkyries at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with yourself for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Acres is bringing you the nation's largest indoor display of John Deere equipment and technology. Acres 2024 Ag and Turf Expo showcases everything from tillage and planting to application and harvest. We'll also offer the latest industry insights from ag professionals across the state. Join us in Grand Island at Fauner Park March 21st and 22nd. Go to acres.com/expo24 for a complete schedule of speakers and activities.
Attention all Nebraska basketball fans. The NCAA tournament is coming soon, and Nebraska looks to be on its way to their first appearance in 10 years. Better Tree Removal wants to celebrate the occasion and any possible success in the tournament by offering a deal. If you're in need of tree removal on your property, call or text Todd by March 20th. If Nebraska wins the first round game, you'll get 25% off the bid. If they win two, you'll get 50% off. You must contact Todd at 402-780-1377 before March 20th.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. Before we get into this, Stricky, you posted a Twitter poll yesterday. Who would be most likely to be welcomed back? Who would you be happiest to welcome back? I forget your exact wording. What did you say, and what are the results that you're seeing?
Well, I will say that I hate to see Trev go, because I think there's still so much more yet to do. There was still so much more work yet to do. And if you didn't listen to the live broadcast yesterday, go back on the podcast for On the Block and pick that up. When we were talking, we talked extensively about Trev and his leaving and just the different, some of the ramifications of it. Mm-hmm. We talked about just some of the thoughts behind it or the possibilities of the why. And it was a really good segment. And this is why I also talk about it, because I just think the analogy that I gave about a home, the ranch and the planting, the seeds have not yet germinated. So you don't know what type of harvest is yet to come from it. Mm-hmm. And it's like he left too soon before the germination of the fruits of the labor of the plantings. Right. And I think he's planted good seed. I think he's done a good job of at least setting the ship aright. Mm-hmm. Right. And I've talked about this before, Austin, and I'm gonna get into the poll. I've talked about there can be a destination set. So when you're navigating and you're on a ship, let's just say little course corrections can either take you way off course in the long play of things, mm-hmm. or little course corrections can correct you and put you on track for the long haul of things. Mm-hmm. We're yet to see what that is, because just think about it in layman's terms. You're a navigator. You're going from, let's just say, San Diego to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Your course is set. You've got to look at the currents, the waves, the wind, all of that. And it's a little rudder, one of the smallest parts of the plane, of not the plane, but of the mm-hmm. ship. If you, certain degrees can literally take you from probably Hawaii to doggone Japan,
Fiji, Japan,
somewhere else,
Togo,
right?
Something.
Just, I'm not talking about a big.
Go back to where you were, the Philippines.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm not talking about a big turn of the rudder. I'm talking about when you're thinking long play, a slight turn of the rudder can take you way off. And so this is why it's hard to look at this situation at this point, because we're trying to assess a long play for Nebraska and where it's going, and we can't see it.
Oh, we have a short-term vision.
All we have is that right now, and that's why I say I like that situation. I mean, I'm not sure about that as far as the number for me right now, but I do like the Bo Pelini situation. Here's why: because a lot of folks would love to go back and just even be in that point of time when Bo was even winning 9-10 games. They would love to be there right now.
Is Bo Pelini a Nebraska Hall of Famer? Is he a Nebraska Hall of Very Good? Is he on the outside looking in? Is Nebraska's former head coach Bo Pelini a Nebraska Hall of Famer? 402-464-5685.
Good point. I'm not going to answer that. But there's some of the comments are absolutely funny, and I'll just give a couple of them. This one was hilarious. Dr. Kool-Aid Donkey, MD. Dr. Kool-Aid Donkey, MD on X says this. He says, I'd like the people who voted for Steve to identify themselves so we can mock you relentlessly. That is absolutely hilarious. Steve got 1.6% of the vote. So there's obviously some people that have voted there. Some people do not like Peterson, and we see that pretty well throughout it. But it's great. The post will be up for another 7 hours. Get your vote in. Right now, the numbers look like this. Trev Albert's at 13.7%. Scott Frost is at 3.9%. Peterson is at 1.6%. And Bo Pelini is at 80.9%. That's with 1,029 votes. Thank you for those votes. And 6,700 of you guys have viewed the tweet. So we would love to keep that coming in. About 7 hours left.
My question based off of that is, again, is Bo Pelini a Nebraska Hall of Famer? Here's what we got on the text line so far, Strick. Harold Spheres, no way. 1865, no on Bo. Thomas in Lincoln, heck no, Pelini didn't win those big games. My gut tells me he's not a Nebraska Hall of Famer because he didn't have the success of a Tom Osborne or a Bob Devaney. Frank Solich even, made a national championship game. Was it deserved? Was it not? You made it. Who cares if it was deserved or not? But I think Bo handling the transition from the Big 12 to the Big 10, that's a big deal. Yes, you wanted more success. But if you're keeping Bo Pelini out of the Nebraska Hall of Fame, you're saying that no one gets in unless they win a conference championship, unless they win, a college football playoff appearance, at least, and probably win a game or two in the college football playoff. It's fair. I can understand that argument, but I think as time goes by, you don't want to lower the standard of what it means to be a Hall of Famer too far. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years, Bo Pelini might be thought of even more differently. We're like, hey, yeah, we actually really appreciate what Bo did, even if we didn't appreciate the manner he left.
And again, this is where I just go back to the seed planning. I mean, I look at it and I say, with this uncertainty that's still looming out there, do individuals like Fred Hoiberg, who doesn't necessarily have to coach, possibly doesn't need to coach, probably loves to still coach, now has turned a corner somewhat, because you still have a pretty young team with the same mindset, with the same determination, with the same goals in mind, knows each other now, are going to come back and give it another run, possibly, if you can retain them, because remember, you have to re-recruit these guys again. So you got to hope to retain Eli Rice, because you don't want to lose that. That's a foundational type of guy. You know what I mean? You want to keep him and Job together. You want them to grow together so that when they mature and they get into their next year and the year after, that they're him. They're those they're the leaders of the team now. So you got to do that part. But those individuals are now kind of bolts, and whatever they put together on this run, the leaderships, there's no leadership to even watch it or to observe it. They have to come in and look at paper. Like they didn't get it. I mean, they might have been able to see it sitting on their couch or something like that. But you're not. I mean, how focused really are you on a specific college to the tune of all things working, inner workings of departments? You're not looking at that. You're just probably looking from the surface of things, right? So yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird.
It absolutely will be. Back to the text line we go. Some more of these responses. City Worker, Bo has said he would never come back. Well, guess what? Bob Knight wasn't going to go back to Indiana.
It took 20 years for Danny Nee, 20 plus for Solich. I mean, it's understandable, but you never know.
Never say never. And the way Frank Solich was fired, the way things ended with Coach Nee, and the way things ended with Bob Knight at Indiana are so different than the way things ended with Bo at Nebraska. No, it wasn't pleasant. Yes, it was pretty acrimonious, but that's small potatoes compared to some of those other endings.
And again, just the way that I would look at it, Austin, is one, you got to probably consider if Coach Rule stays. If Coach Rule turns the program around, he stays and he reaches out an olive branch to Bo and say, hey, Bo, listen, we know that things didn't go well. And now this is a coach to coach type of situation. This isn't administration. This is, hey, listen, we love you here. I just want you to know that this place still loves you. You know, I mean, I just happened to be on Strick's Twitter page and, 80% of the people was like, yeah, we want Bo back. But that stuff he probably doesn't hear, you know, outside the echo chamber of, wherever he's
Youngstown, wherever he's at, yeah.
Right? So I think an olive branch coming from, it depends on the invitee or the inviter.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think Matt Rule would be a great guy to extend that invitation, where I think he would be clashing. If, let's say, Nebraska, wins 8-9 games this coming season, they win 10-11 year after that, and they're a consistent 9 or 10 win program. If Matt Rule were to win a national championship and then invite Bo Pelini back, it's, oh, now I'm better than you, I'm bigger than you, now you can come back, and that might be a slap in the face. But if Matt Rule gets Nebraska back to where Bo Pelini had it, still trying to figure out how to break through, that's when I think that olive branch might be extended, so it doesn't look like, oh, we're taking pity on you, oh, come back. I think Matt Rule would be a class enough guy to figure out the right way to do that. 65-40, Bo Pelini Hall of Fame. He did his job. That's it. Absolutely not. Earthquake Glue. Yes, on Bo for me. The Bandit. It's a Hall of Fame. Of course you have to have won some hardware. I mean, again, this is going to be crossword comparison, and these coaches are all better than Bo Pelini, but Mark Few, Bob Huggins, Kelvin Sampson, Bruce Pearl, Rick Barnes, Dana Altman, Bob McKillop at Davidson had one run. I'm not saying Bo Pelini is the best coach in Husker history. I'm just saying, think about his era, the change that he guided Nebraska through, and do the frustrations of not getting a national championship outweigh getting 9 or 10 wins? Because here's this, Strick, from 3880. Never broke the 9-win threshold. What did he do? Bo was consistently average. I think what we've seen is that winning 9 or 10 games a year is not average. It's above average. Nebraska plateaued, but Nebraska wasn't average. Nebraska was an above average to good team. No, he didn't ever get over the hump, and I'm willing to grant that, okay, it's not enough to get him into the Hall of Fame, fine. But let's not pretend like 9-3 is average. We've seen what average looks like. That was this last year. We've seen Nebraska go 5-7. That's average. That's normal in college football. Bo never dropped down that far, so let's not say Nebraska was average all of a sudden.
And see, that's the one thing that I would say. Okay, so did you want to quick talk this the athletic the decision things about the athletic directors? I know we kind of mentioned it, but that's why I would say, because of the expectations is sometimes so great, and it's so over. Sometimes it's over. What's the word I'm looking for, Austin? Where in your mind, in the mind of some of us as Husker fans, we are like spoiled children, right? And look, I'm not trying to come at anybody particularly in any way. I'm just saying that can be a mindset when you've had so much success. And look, I can look at another program like Notre Dame. I can look at a lot of programs like that. Even now, when you look at Clemson, just for their success, and they haven't had the long run like Nebraska's had. No. But just look at the short run that they've had and how those how they're feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The Tennessee's Tennessee, they've kind of just peaked in there, but they're kind of like Penn State.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of the SEC to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we just haven't even gotten to that point yet. We're still behind them on that point, but we're so spoiled in our minds to the fact that we're still a perennial powerhouse, and we're not. That's got to be rebuilt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think AD sometimes come in and the expectations or the way that they look at the program, and so maybe sometimes ADs are like, and I'm just speculating because I can't say, but maybe they're looking at it like these folks are delusional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then you've got to, so you have a delusional mindset. I've got to sit down across from you. I need you still to support us, even though we're not excellent like you're used to, but I still need you because there's things I need to do in order to get us on par with the excellence of like what Alabama is doing and what Oregon's are doing and what I need to get us there. And it's tough to pull those individuals who may have a delusional mindset to get them to continue to do the most for the program that's still mediocre.
One last call. Is Bo Pelini a Nebraska Football Hall of Famer? 8920, Rod and South Lincoln, sorry. Don't you have to win something or make some sort of significant contribution to the sport that was exceptional? Sure. And again, not a college football Hall of Famer relative to Nebraska standards is the question. And no, Bo Pelini wasn't the best coach in Nebraska history. Was he the second best coach? No. Was he the third best coach in Husker football history? We have to do some more research on that. But again, take into account the transition from the Big 10 to the Big 12, or Big 12 to the Big 10, and you still won the same number of games. No, Bo didn't win a conference championship. That's a big knock on his resume. But he got Nebraska to back-to-back Big 12 championships on his way out the door. Should have won both of them very easily. Could have won at least one. Should have beat Oklahoma. You're up that big at half and you don't close it out. That's on you. Beating Texas would have been an upset. You were on the precipice of doing it. Making the Big 10 championship game after saying we have to win out, he followed through on his promise to win out, then got smoked by Wisconsin. So no, he didn't win a conference championship. I'm willing to grant that argument. And that's maybe, he was only around for, 7 years at Nebraska, I think it ended up being. So no, it wasn't like he was around forever. But I also think that the climate of college football had changed too, Strick. You think about Bill Snyder, icon at Kansas State, never won a natty, got some conference championships. Bo Schembechler at Michigan. Lots of Rose Bowls, lots of conference championships, no natties. Frank Beamer, Virginia Tech, same thing. Gary Patterson at TCU might be an interesting one, but he was, coaching at kind of that mid-major group of 5 level for a while. How does Bo compare in Nebraska history to Gary Patterson at TCU? John Cooper at Ohio State, who was fired for not beating Michigan. Do I think Bo Pelini's a Nebraska Hall of Famer? Probably not. But I don't think we can be so quick to write him off. That's really my point here in asking that question. Just don't be so quick to write Bo off necessarily. Let's take a break. We'll wrap up hour 1 by taking a quick overview of what's gone on in the Big 10 men's basketball tournament. Because, hey, we haven't had to pay attention for 2 days. Nebraska hasn't played. It's different. It's a wonderful kind of weird. We'll get you caught up on what you need to know has happened in the Big 10 tournament, and then we'll get in depth. Nebraska, Indiana tonight, round 3. We will also discuss this question. What is the statement Nebraska men's basketball can make with a win tonight? Let us know, 402-464-5685. Wrapping up hour 1 of On the Block next. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker concrete, and Beatrice concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hand here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with proof credit. Stock number G214773.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, March 16th versus the Orlando Valkyries at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Stop by TCA Outdoor Power on March 22nd and 23rd for an open house and customer appreciation celebration. TCA Outdoor Power is a locally owned business located at 6210 South 57th Street and prides itself on being Lincoln's only elite steel dealership for over 20 years. On March 22nd and 23rd, enjoy 10% off select steel products and up to $350 off on select battery tools. Also, if you buy 2 steel batteries, you can double your limited warranty. Give TCA Outdoor Power a call today at 402-420-9424 or visit them for their open house celebration, March 22nd and 23rd. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 21st and 22nd at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up hour 1 of the show by pointing you to hour 2. Talking Big Ten men's basketball tournament. Nebraska and Indiana. Last game of the night from Minneapolis. We'll have post-game coverage right after it's done. Here and only here on 93.7 The Ticket. Let's get you caught up. you've had some other stuff on your mind, Husker fans, since the tournament started on Wednesday. We're used to having to worry about that here. Big congratulations and a big kudos to Fred Hoiberg and his team for staying out of the Wednesday round. What happened on Wednesday, though? Maryland beat Rutgers by 14. That was number 12 Maryland over number 13 Rutgers, 65-51. And then Penn State put an end to Michigan's season, 66-57. In the news of the day out of that, Strick, Juwan Howard officially gone from Michigan.
Yeah, Juwan Howard is had to get his pink slip on the way out of there, and it's just one of those things where the program, when it looks as if you've lost the players, like here's the thing, right? What happened at Ohio State?
Well, they fired Chris Holtmann.
What's happened since he's left?
Heater.
It's like it's not a different team.
Same players.
It's the same players, same team. Maybe the respect, maybe the passion for playing shifted because they like him better. They respect him more. And okay, if you understand what I'm saying, maybe this is one of the best ways. Raise your hand if you're a parent out there. Some of y'all are like, Strick, you can't see us. We're
raise your hand on the text line. Raise your hand in the comments section. There's emojis for that.
Hey, there are emojis. Raise your hand if you're a parent, because here's why I'll say that. You guys have had situations, you've had circumstances, and you've had times when you've said some things to your teenager, to your kid, to your young child, your toddler. No, maybe not child. Let's get a little bit older than that. You know, your kindergartner, your first grader, third grader, whatever. You've said some things to that young man, young woman. I actually like it to be a little bit older. I like it to be in that middle school age, you know, and up. And whether you're a coach, you don't even have to be a parent. You could be a coach, a teacher, and you've said some things to that young person, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. I do. You think you know it all. Oh, Dad. Right, Mom. And the parent of a friend, the uncle, the cool teacher, right,
coach,
can say the exact same thing. And you know what I'm talking about. Can say the exact same, just in a different tone, a different manner, with maybe a smile on it, and that person will listen. It's the exact same thing. And so that's what probably sometimes over time, when you're hearing the same voice, you're hearing the same points, you're hearing the same.
You're frustrated, stuff isn't working.
And you lose that hearing. It's like one in one ear and out the other. And that's where sometimes it's happened. Juwan has gone through a series of antics over the course of the last few years. And you know, I'm sure he takes a stern stance because he's played at the next level. And I remember when I was coaching at the Division II level, and some of these young boys thought they knew some stuff, and I was like, you guys haven't done a doggone thing, and you're over here thinking that you're going somewhere, and they didn't listen. But until it was too late. Right. Some of them call me now and be like, hey, Coach Strick, hey, man, I wish I would have. I remember when you told me. A couple of them haven't, and they've done well. They've gone on to be good coaches now and good parents and so forth and so on. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about, and that's possibly how this happens.
Other results from yesterday: Michigan State beat Minnesota in the 8-9 game. You have Wisconsin blasting Maryland 87-56. Ohio State puts an end to Iowa on the bubble talk 90-78. Indiana and Penn State is the game of interest for Husker fans. A little sloppy, little disjointed. It was 59-59 with about 30 seconds to go. Indiana gets a tip in with 5 seconds to go. Anthony Leal at the basically at the death. Penn State gets a bad shot off. Almost goes in, but it doesn't, rattles around and out. So Indiana wins at 61-59, and that will be Nebraska's opponent tonight. We'll get into that here in just a minute. But one other game to tell you about: Purdue beat Michigan State 67-62. Scary moment in that one, Strick, is Braden Smith for Purdue went up for a layup on the left side. As he jumped, you see his right knee kind of buckle. He hobbles off. They don't take him directly to the locker room. He tries to walk it off. Seems like he was walking around on his own. He wasn't put back in the game. So we're monitoring an injury situation with not just the 1 seed in the Big Ten, but a potential 1 seed in the NCAA tournament in Purdue.
Yeah, and he's he was a first teamer too.
He was.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so when you look at it from that standpoint, that's tough. Northwestern and Wisconsin is in a tight game right there. I mean, when you look at
game of the half.
When you look at that right now, actually I think they just started the second half, 16 minutes now, 41-38, but Wisconsin is up by 3. But here's the thing. Who needs that game more?
Wisconsin, by far.
By far, right? Mm-hmm. They probably last 4 out right now?
No, Wisconsin's in,
You think
but
they're in?
they're on such a slide from where they were ranked before. Wisconsin needs a win over a team with a pulse to really, I think, say, oh, yeah, wait, maybe Wisconsin can play basketball.
Mm-hmm. So you don't believe this game affects either of them?
They're both in.
Okay.
Yeah, not a bubble game.
There you go. But yeah, so, there's a couple of good games left right now. I don't think anything that happens with Illinois and Ohio State definitely is going to need that game. That's going to be coming to you at 5:30 on BTN. And then after that, the Huskers will take on Indiana. Now, that's a tough I don't think it's a tough matchup. As you said, Austin, break that down again, because you said that Nebraska had won it in 2 different manners, 2 different ways that they won that. I'd love to get your perspective on that.
That's what we'll do on the other side. We'll give you Nebraska-Indiana thoughts. We'll go through those 2 games. How did Nebraska win the game in Lincoln? How did they go on the road for their first conference win of the year to beat Indiana? We'll dive into what a win would mean for the Huskers. What kind of statement could they send with a win? All that and more, breaking down Husker men's basketball in the Big Ten tournament in hour 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Stop by TCA Outdoor Power on March 22nd and 23rd for an open house and customer appreciation celebration. TCA Outdoor Power is a locally owned business located at 6210 South 57th Street and prides itself on being Lincoln's only elite steel dealership for over 20 years. On March 22nd and 23rd, enjoy 10% off select steel products and up to $350 off on select battery tools. Also, if you buy 2 steel batteries, you can double your limited warranty. Give TCA Outdoor Power a call today at 402-420-9424 or visit them for their open house celebration, March 22nd and 23rd.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
Join us on Saturday, March 16th for Taylor Swift Night at the Icebox. We'll be jamming to the best hits from Travis Kelce's Girlfriend all night, and you can be part of the fun too. The first 500 fans in attendance will receive a friendship bracelet, while the first 200 fans will get a Stars Taylor Swift themed poster. Are you ready for it? Get your tickets now at LincolnStars.com.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by the Original Super Glue. Stop by your local participating Westlake Ace Hardware locations for your $10 savings coupon. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena March 29th and 30th.
$93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2, we're diving into the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. I'm Austin Norman, joined by Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, and man who is a member of the last tournament champion Nebraska team.
Yay, yay.
East Tracy?
Yay, yay. Hey,
well,
man.
I mean this respectfully. That was a long time ago. Like not trying to call you old or anything, but like it's been too long since Nebraska's done the thing.
I'm only 35. I mean, damn.
I know. Well, and Jay just had his 40th birthday. We were talking about yesterday.
Yeah,
so
he's old.
You guys are.
Jay's old as dirt, but I'm young. He's
spry.
I can't
athletic.
believe it. That man's that old, but I'm glad for him.
Yeah, time sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so it's been a minute since Nebraska men's basketball has had success in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm Benjamin Buttons.
There you go.
I'm hoping to go backwards.
You're working on it.
And that's why I'm hoping that Nebraska, gets it cracking and they're able to do something. I want to see something special. That's where I'm at right now, Austin. I'm looking through the magic 8 ball, the crystal ball, the hourglass, whatever you want to say, and I'm hoping that it's ticking away in our favor. I'm seeing things shake up and it's just turn around for this because it needs it.
Yeah.
Not because I want it for, my own, gratification or for the, state's grat. I think it needs it for what's going on right now, for chaotic times. There's nothing that can kind of hold things together than success and winning. And, when things seem to be going bad or awry, I think it brings a country together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at when we went into, World War II and there was a lot of complacency of us as a nation, as a country. No, we don't want no part of that. We neutral. And then, boom, Pearl Harbor happens and it drew us together like never before, similar to what happened in 9/11, so forth. There's times like that, not to say that they're all for the good, because then there's sometimes snaky things that happen behind that. Obviously, what happens in Iraq and stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, things like this, chaotic times, you need something to be able to just grab hold of when you're a lifeline. When you fall off the boat, they throw the thing on you, and that's the thing that can be basically
the life preserver.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think success of the Nebraska men's basketball, the Nebraska women's basketball, maybe what's going on with track, even baseball, softball, or any of these right now, just any success that you can get behind for those programs would be great for Nebraska right now.
Oh, for sure. Be the railing on the staircase. You're falling down, grab onto it, stop sliding. I want to start here with you, Strick. Your team, to win the Big 8 tournament championship, had to win 3 games in 3 days. Path's the same for Nebraska. They get the double bye in the Big 10 tournament. They have to win 3 games in 3 days. They win tonight. They'll play on Saturday, win Saturday. Final is on Selection Sunday. What goes into, balancing, keeping it 1 game at a time versus the big picture, right? Because you can't save any energy in this game if you're in Nebraska. It means too much. But also, if you're looking to make a long run, just how important is the rest and the recovery if Nebraska gets this one done?
Well, you've getting the rest and the recovery. That's the beautiful thing about what they've done. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're able to get healthy. You're able to be at full strength. You're able to relax your mind a little bit. This is what you're hoping for. You've seen some rust and some dusting off of rust on some of these other, but a lot of these players are still just coming right into it, right? So you're hoping that it's just creating a laser focus. It's creating that willingness for competition. Like, I'm tired of looking at you, Bryce Williams. I'm tired of looking at you, Rink Mass. I'm tired of looking at you, Mac Tarjop. You know what I mean? I want to see some competition. I want somebody else I can beat up on. I want somebody else I can get after. I want somebody else that I can hound. I want to do that with my teammates, but
with you.
Right. I want to be able to fight this fight, get somebody for a purpose. And that's really all we did when we won our championship. That's really all we did when we won the Big 8 tournament championship, the one that we have, right? Is we were mad. We were hungry. We were pissed off. We didn't like what the referees and what the Big 8 conference, we felt the way they were looking at us, and we needed that run because we were like, we needed significant wins in order to position us to get into the tournament. So we're like, look, let's just go do it. Run through Oklahoma, beat revenge on Missouri. And oh, by the way, big country, we're outmatched, we're outsized. That's really what Purdue is right now.
Sure.
Old school Oklahoma State is what Purdue is. And so just go out there, man, and just do something special. Like, I personally think that Nebraska's set up with the right bracket. Thoughts? I think they're set up with the right bracket matchup wise for them to make the run to get to the finals.
I like where your head's at with this. I'll answer your question with a question. Is tonight's game the most challenging game of the tournament for Nebraska?
Well, it always is, because anytime you face someone 3 times and you've swept, it's always challenging. Woody and Indiana program has pride. Like, Woody's not gonna be too excited to take a 3 strikes you're out approach to his team against the Huskers. Like, he's not going to be happy about that. So I know he's going to have his team prepared. Be prepared for Indiana to attack the glass offensively. And so you said something earlier, and you talked about the ways that they beat that Nebraska had beat them, and it was 2 different ways when we were having a discussion pre-broadcast. What was your assessment on that?
I think that if I look at this Indiana team and this Nebraska team, tonight is the most challenging game for Nebraska in a circumstances way to look at it. You've had 5 days off. Yeah, you haven't played in a while. Indiana didn't look good last night, but they knocked the rust off. They're going to be better tonight than they were last night. Yeah, you use it to get healthy, get mentally reset, but Strick, when there's a layoff, it takes some time to get your juices flowing, which is where I think Nebraska, having beat Indiana in different ways, gives me confidence that this team can find a way. I'm saying they will, but they can find a way to do it again. If you look back at the first game, the game that was at home in Lincoln, it ended up trying to find the score, 86-70 Nebraska. Nebraska won both halves by 8 points, 41-33 and 45-37. Indiana got out to a 9-4 start in that game. Nebraska crawled back in. It took the lead, I think, by the U12 or so. Went on a little run here and there, 2 points here, 4 points there. Really just kept Indiana at arm's length, kept kind of pushing and pushing and pushing, extending that arm a little bit further to where Indiana never really threatened in the second half. Nebraska didn't fully pull away where like, oh yeah, they dominated this game, but it was a comfortable enough win. That was early on. That was the 14th game of the year for both of these teams. The next time on the road, Strick, we talked a lot about Nebraska's road struggles, everything that's gone into that. It was a completely different game. Nebraska got out to a huge lead in the first half, 51 first half points. They led 51-31 at halftime. And then they come out, and what do? They give up a 22 to, what would that be, 6 run? Yeah, 22-6 run.
And Indiana shut terribly in that game from 3.
Yes, terribly. So bad. They kept Nebraska. Nebraska didn't step on the throat of Indiana, but Indiana also found a way to hang around, despite not shooting well from 3. Bryce Williams hit that right wing jumper to push Nebraska's lead back to 6 after Indiana cut it to 4. Jamarcus Lawrence came alive late. So we've seen Nebraska be able to have big spurts against Indiana. We've seen Nebraska be able to win, the majority of the 4-minute segments in each half against Indiana. And that fits the motto and the ethos of this team, to where they can beat you with a big run, or they can just kind of grind you down. They can 4-minute drill you to death. Here are the commonalities between the two games, though. Bryce Williams and Keisei Tominaga. First game, the 86-70 win for Nebraska at home. Keisei was huge. 28 points, 9 of 15 shooting, 4 of 10 on threes. Bryce Williams added 15 points on 3 of 4 from 3. Jamarcus Lawrence was still in the starting lineup. He had 12. CJ Wilcher had 11. But 43 points from Keisei and Bryce. You look at the road game then, Strick. Again, Keisei Tominaga, Nebraska's leading scorer, he had 20. Bryce Williams, the second leading scorer, he had 18. Indiana is going to do everything in its power to keep those two guys down. Keisei ran circles around everyone. Bryce Williams did his thing. Rink Mast hasn't played that well against Indiana. Juwan was up and down. Josiah Allick was okay in the second game when he was in the starting lineup. Is this another Jamarcus Lawrence step-up game? Is it CJ Wilcher? Or do Keisei and Bryce have to rise above the game plan and be the studs for Nebraska again?
Yeah, it's a good point, and that's what I was gonna throw out, is that which person is most important. I actually think, to me, I think Alec has to have a high energy type of game, meaning
tone setter.
Yeah, I think he needs to be a person that blocks a shot or two, gets an extra possession or two, jumps out of the stadium. Not literally. I'm not.
Don't play 4-on-5.
But jumps and saves the ball. And I think another key is like Sam Hoiberg just getting a couple run steals, just setting off just a couple of those, getting in and causing something to happen where I think they need some of that. I don't necessarily think they need Tominaga or somebody to go off in order to do it. I think they just need these little spark. When you're playing on neutral floors, you just want these little spark moments that just keeps the team inspired. Especially like here's the example I'm talking about. Think about when you have your car, right? Your car has been sitting in wintertime. It's been sitting in the cold. You went on vacation and you haven't started it up in a while. It needs just that. It needs a spark, and it needs to sit for a second. It needs to simmer to allow it to have the power because that's what Nebraska needs right now. They've been off. They've had time. So this is why I say you want those spark moments. Just these things just to kind of invigorate you, to let you know you back in the building, baby. You back rolling. It's time to get busy. That's why I say I think you need that.
Is it important for Nebraska to win the first 4 minutes?
Of course. I don't think in this game, I don't think you want Indiana to start feeling great about themselves. Like, you want them to have the type of night that they shot from 3 in that second game, 19%. You like, that's what you want. You want them in a games, like that to start, because you don't want them overly confident. You know what I'm saying? I think you want to attack Ware, but you don't want to go to his strength
and build his confidence.
Right. You want to attack him knowing that he's coming to send your stuff to the third row and drop it off and get easier opportunities, or get it high and get a rebound put back, or you don't want to allow him to block. You want to draw him to find one, to find the other, and freaking knock shots down. That's how you stomp on them. That's what you want to do. You want to literally come out, get off to a good start, understanding that Indiana's going to make runs, understanding that you want to squelch runs by execution, not turning the ball over, and securing rebounds once they shoot them on the offensive side and get defensive rebounds. That means putting bodies on Ware, not leaving people open for dunk tips and stuff like that. And then that's how you are able to maintain the runs that they're going to try to throw at you. And then you just continually compound with execution, letting the aggressiveness of Indiana be to their fault, and then use those backdoor actions with great passing to, win this game.
Trey Galloway didn't play last night for Indiana. He hasn't been great for them in the matchups against Nebraska. Khalil Ware has 37 points and 22 rebounds in the 2 games for him, a double-double both times. But Nebraska, used the word differentials, has made up for it other places. Nebraska hasn't won the rebounding battle against Indiana this year. They lost it the first game by 5 and the second game by 1. So you're hanging in there. You're not getting absolutely nuked on the boards. And that's been enough for this Nebraska team. Taking a look at Indiana recently, Strick, we talked about Nebraska before that Ohio State game being the hottest team in the Big Ten Conference. Indiana's on a 5-game win streak. If you go back to the end of February, they beat Wisconsin at Assembly Hall, went on the road to beat Maryland by 5, went to Minnesota, beat the Gophers by 12, squeaked out a 1-point win over Michigan State in their home finale. And then they beat Penn State after their little bit of a layoff. So they went from Sunday to Thursday without playing. Indiana's played better basketball. They have their confidence. And that, to me, is the scariest part. Because you look up and down this roster, it's got some good pieces on it. Mike Woodson's a good coach. That's why I think your point about the energy is so important. They're feeling themselves. They're feeling good about themselves. They're locked in. What does Nebraska do to throw them off? That's the question.
Oh, is that rhetorical?
I think if you have an answer, great. If not,
I really don't. Sauter Heyman text line, do you? 402-464-5685, because that's basically what I'm saying. Austin gave his side. I gave my side. Give your side. 402-464-5685. What is it that you hope to see tonight out of the Husker men in order to, I think they're already in. I think that's not the case of it, but I would just say it like this. Do you want to see them make a run, or do you just want them to kind of just get through this moment, get to an NCAA tournament, and then see how it goes? What do you want to see?
It kind of feels like, from my standpoint, Strick, it's hard to say Nebraska would make a run because they can only play 3 games. To me, a run is, hey, you survived Wednesday, you won a game you shouldn't have on Thursday, you hit a miracle on Friday, you're in the semis. But I think that's the beauty of this situation for Nebraska is they banked it. They already made their run. They saved themselves some effort.
Yeah.
Use it tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Nebraska's already made its run to the quarterfinals, which is further than it's made it in a long time. Here's some numbers for you, Strick, courtesy of the Nebraska website. Nebraska looking to snap a 5-game losing streak in the Big Ten tournament. They haven't won since 2019. Nebraska has reached the quarterfinals 4 times, not again since 2019. Nebraska lost its one matchup in the Big Ten tournament against Indiana. Here's this. Nebraska looking to make its first conference semifinal since 2006. It's been a long time, but you put yourself in the perfect position to do it. You are favored tonight. You and Indiana rate extremely similarly statistically, but you know who you are. Maybe Indiana feels a little bit better right now, but they've had to put in work the last couple days. Yeah, I know they've only played one game, but the shoot around the day before, that extra prep they had to do, that adds up. Go exert yourself. You're the 3 seed in the Big Ten. Go act like it tonight.
I agree with you. And I think also one of the things you got to think about is these schools like the Indianas, who else is left? I mean, again, Northwestern and probably Wisconsin don't have to worry. But Ohio State, Indiana, those schools are the only ones left pretty much to say, maybe Indiana, if they could just get maybe to the finals, they could probably solidify maybe a one of those Indiana late.
Maybe.
There's talk on it. People are talking about it, but we don't know what the committee's going to say. But at the end of the day, those teams feel that it's all we got. When we were coming, and we knew that we didn't want to leave it in the hands of a committee, is why we made the run we made in the Big 8 tournament that time. Those schools are at that point. They're like, we don't have an option to leave it to anybody to make a decision on our behalf. Let's just go and try to win this tournament. That's what their coaching staffs are telling them, Austin. Their coaching staffs are telling them, we got to win it. And they're going to play like that. They're going to play with that type of effort. So
desperation, hunger.
You've got to match that. That's what you're fighting against as a team with the bullseye on your back. You're fighting against the team that's like a cat stuck in a corner with nowhere to go. And the junkyard dogs are looking at him like, yeah, you the next meal. But the cat is like,
we'll see about that.
We're going to have a conversation about that. That's what those teams are trying to do, man.
Makes
and so
sense
that's what's the scary part about it.
8 o'clock, maybe slightly later tip-off for Nebraska and Indiana tonight. Post-game right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Here's the question we want your answer to, and we'll ask next segment. What kind of statement does Nebraska send with a win tonight? Let us know, 402-464-5685. We'll discuss that when we get back to On the Block.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Stop by TCA Outdoor Power on March 22nd and 23rd for an open house and customer appreciation celebration. TCA Outdoor Power is a locally owned business located at 6210 South 57th Street and prides itself on being Lincoln's only elite steel dealership for over 20 years. On March 22nd and 23rd, enjoy 10% off select steel products and up to $350 off on select battery tools. Also, if you buy 2 steel batteries, you can double your limited warranty. Give TCA Outdoor Power a call today at 402-420-9424 or visit them for their open house celebration, March 22nd and 23rd.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside. And all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, March 16th versus the Orlando Valkyries at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, scattered showers likely throughout the day. It'll be breezy too, with an afternoon high around 50. Tonight, a slight chance of showers early, then mostly cloudy and a low around 36. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return. We'll see an afternoon high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's one of my favorite comebacks right there, Austin.
Stricky vibing.
I love that one. That's gonna give me a nice vibe. I need some trees to grow now. I'm ready. I'm looking outside here on 11th and O, and I'm looking at the trees, and I'm ready. I think I need to get on one of those scooters, Austin. They keep flying by here.
If you get on a scooter, I will make sure we have fan cam up. How about that?
I think it's time.
How about that?
Yeah. Just take a ride down the street or something, go to one of the restaurants or go to Jake's or something and just sit down and talk with my boy Aaron Davis and Raffy like I did yesterday and just have a good one. Hey, it's going to be great, man.
Yeah.
The fellas, man, we have a good time just sitting around and chopping it up and talking all things, sports and life and, about our shows and respective shows, man. Shout out to the Raph and AD and the Hall of Famer because he's joined them now. Yeah,
AG.
AG's hanging out with them on the drive, man. That's a good time to check them out. They're at what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
I think they're at 10
8 to
o'clock.
10.
8 to 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10. You can find them 8 to 10. They're really good about it. I usually in the gym at 8 to 10, so I usually just catch a little piece of them towards the latter half, and every now and then I'll pop my head in here and they'll let me jump on with them. But we're on the block 2 to 4.
We are talking about Fred Hoiberg and the fellas.
Yeah.
Roger says, I just took Trev's parking place. That's cold, man. That's cold.
It's a cold world out
It
there.
is. Justin Rogge, Kenny Pickett being traded to the Eagles. Russell Wilson gets the starting spot handed to him. Yeah, Russ was always going to start in Pittsburgh. Don't have enough time to get into everything NFL today because we're on Husker basketball playing Indiana tonight in the Big Ten tournament. The question is this: what statement does Nebraska men's basketball make with the win tonight? Here's what Derek in a car says. If we win tonight, the statement says Nebraska did exactly what they expected to do, which is to put emphasis on defense and find the hot hand. This team has no one single guy, and that's what makes the Huskers a tough matchup. To me, a statement says, we're here. We took care of business. I like that. Took care of business because Nebraska is favored. Nebraska should win this game. You've beat Indiana twice. Yeah, sure, it's tough to play a team 3 times, but you've proven all year you're the better team. What better night to prove it than tonight?
Agreed. It's time. I mean, we've said all along there's certain teams, and we haven't been in a situation like this in a long time, Austin, man, for us to really take a look at it, assess Nebraska basketball and compare by way of comparison. And look at the team that they're playing, look across the aisle and say that Nebraska is actually better than this team. It's been a long time we've been able to say that, but for a good portion of the Nebraska Big Ten conference schedule, we've been able to say that quite a bit, where we've actually been able to say that they're actually, like, you actually could say that they're where they're supposed to be by what you know, the 3-4 is where I thought I thought they were that good to be a 3-4. Now, again, you have opportunities that they've squandered a lot. Just think of how it could have been if they didn't squander what they squandered.
If they beat Minnesota, Rutgers, and Illinois.
Yeah. Just think of how different this whole thing could be.
You're a game behind Purdue.
Facts. And that's what I'm saying. This is why I said everything they did was a learn. Everything was an educational opportunity. And the difference between this team and I think teams of the past, I've literally, Austin, you and I have just recently partnered up, but I've been able to talk to Bach, and I've had conversations with some of my other previous partners. And I've told them, I've said, those teams, it's the most frustrating thing about them, Austin, is they didn't learn. It was like they were doing the same thing over and over again. It's like if I had a chance to talk to them and I'm like, you know why you're losing? It's because you're doing the exact same thing that got you in trouble last game, or you didn't learn from driving into 3 people and diving for shots that no ref's going to give you. I mean, it's like you continue to see the same thing. There was no growth. But I can tell from the beginning of the season from this team, and from watching them in practice and from watching the way that the coaches were talking to them, you can tell that this team was growing.
You absolutely can, growing into their roles as individuals, and really, Strick, I think growing into their spot in the Big Ten Conference. That is what I think I've been impressed to see, is that Nebraska hasn't been dominant really by any stretch of the word, but Nebraska's handled business. It's just moved forward at a steady pace. That's what's been impressive to me, is that we haven't seen, you know, a miracle run at the end of the year to get back into consideration, or a long slide to knock you out of consideration at any point. Yeah, they've lost a couple games in a row here or there, but Nebraska has stacked wins on top of wins and ended losing streaks, ended opposing scoring runs in a micro sense much better this year than they have in years past. That's maturity.
That's maturity. That's growth. That's learning. That's listening. You know, that's getting in with your coaching staff, because, you know, something that a lot of people don't understand is it's like another job, because you know, it's not just going to practice and then going and playing games. It's lifting weights. It's, you know, working on its skill set, working in drills. It's getting with your specific teams. It's practice. In season practice, you don't really get to learn anything about your game. It's just tweaking little things. It's kind of watching maybe your shot pocket is off a little bit. A couple times maybe you're shooting on the way down. You can pick out little things like that, but it's not working on certain parts of your game. You're not going to come in and have left-hand floaters working in the season. No, that's not that. You work on that stuff in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell that this team has continued to do things that they do well. Like you didn't see Rink Mass coming out here trying to be freaking Hakeem Olajuwon, right? You saw him, he's got good hands, both legs, passes the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
He's done what he had. You hadn't seen him when he goes for 30, trying to go for 30 again. He just takes what he's given. He plays within the system, and everybody does that. CJ Wilcher goes off for a couple games. You don't see him coming out hunting. You know what I mean? They're knowing what the defense is doing. They're seeing where they're going to try to attack them, and they're going and working off of other players based on, because then there'll be a game where they start face guarding or hounding CJ Wilcher, and then Juwan Gary will go off. And that's what's been good about this team, because they haven't allowed themselves in their pride and their egos to get ahead of what the team's success is.
The perfect example of that to me is K-State in Minnesota. They had a great defensive game plan on it the first time, tried to copy it the second time. Juwan goes off for a career high. And it's a guy like Juwan Gary. It's a guy like CJ Wilcher, Jamarcus Lawrence off the bench. Even Josiah Allick, we saw Nebraska go to him in the right matchups. Teams aren't going to, in March, allow Keisei Tominaga to beat them unless he goes otherworldly. Same with Bryce Williams, who has the ability to score 30 any given night, even though we haven't seen it yet this year. Rink Mast, this is not a good matchup for him. He struggled in both games against Indiana, but if Indiana commits more attention to Keisei and to Bryce, who have hurt them in both matchups, maybe that leaves room for Rink Mast to step back up.
Pause. Here's where Rink success comes. They're going to possibly set up some things early, because Khalil Ware, what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to not have Ware on Mast. They're going to try to put Ware on Allick. And so Allick's success is going to be Ware leaves, attack the rim, off of curls, off of back doors, this is why I talked about getting the ball up, and Allick follows.
Use his tendencies as a shot blocker against him?
Use his tendencies as a shot. So I'm saying you can toss floaters knowing you're not going to make them, but you want to toss them weak side. Don't toss them short. You want to toss them to where Allick's following.
Juwan follow. Yeah.
Anytime Ware leaves, you follow. And just wait in shooting pocket, like little drop-off pocket, or wait for rebound. Allick and Gary, weak side crash all night, because you want to take the advantage of that, right? And then, so that's one of the things. But then you want to have Mast in situations around that Dirk zone, that elbow zone, where you can face up, you can kind of find people, square somebody up, get them into the middle of the paint, and drop them off, because the guy's not going to have the size.
No.
But it's not going to be in the Ware zone. If Ware even comes, that's when Allick drops. That forces that weak side guy to have to drop in front of Allick, and that's where you have weak side Gary, or you have weak side Wilcher to be able to knock shots down. So watch for that. I would say that's kind of what you'd want to see. You want him in that zone that would force Ware to come over if you're Rink Mast, but you also want guards penetration to have Allick follow up. And then when you have the situations when Gary's at the four out, now he's got the guard Rink. Now this is when we're looking for Rink action to keep Khalil where he drops off, and then hopefully Rink is stroking. I be stroking.
Stroking.
That's what I be doing. I be stroking.
Stroking.
Clarence Carter.
Did it. Go to the text line here real quick. Chubby Rhino. In my opinion, Nebraska's ceiling is winning one game in the Big Ten tournament and winning one game in the NCAA tournament. Anything more is gravy. Vehement disagree. Is it most likely that Nebraska wins one game and goes done? According to their seed, yes. Right now. Illinois hasn't played, but if everything stays true to form, Nebraska beats Indiana, loses to Illinois. Okay, that's fine. You made the quarters. With one, you get to the semifinals. Good job. Good season. Further than you've made it since 2006. Since 2006. Let me repeat that. Okay, it's been a while. That's still successful. But to say that's the ceiling, blatant untruth. Guess who Nebraska pushed to overtime on the road?
Illinois.
Guess who Nebraska had every chance to beat in regulation on the road? Illinois. Nebraska had chances to win that game in overtime.
Their floor.
On their floor. This ain't their floor. Guess who Nebraska played once and beat once this year on the opposite side of the bracket?
Purdue.
Who, by every metric you look at.
And that's been 2 years.
In a row.
And should have beat them in Purdue.
Uh-huh.
They really should be 3-0 against Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Which is no team has been able to really do.
No.
Yeah, except Nebraska. Yeah.
Purdue, a consensus, according to every metric you look at.
Overall.
Top 3 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're ranked ahead of Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska's 1-1 against those two teams. But to say Nebraska's ceiling is winning one game in the Big Ten tournament, that's not true. And then this is the part that Husker fans don't understand because they've never experienced it. There is no ceiling in the NCAA tournament. There's no ceiling. You win one, why not us in the second one? Maybe someone else pulls an upset and you're the higher seed.
They call it March Madness for a reason.
We have seen so many teams with
madness.
Fewer resources and less talent make deeper runs than Nebraska. Why not Nebraska? Don't put a ceiling on this team. Ceilings don't exist in March.
That's well stated. I can't even put a cherry on top of that. That was well stated. I mean, I let me just say I wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
No ceilings in March. We'll take a break. Wrap it up with the crossover next.
This is Monster Jam.
Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by the Original Super Glue. Stop by your local participating Westlake Ace Hardware locations for your $10 savings coupon. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena March 29th and 30th.
The countdown is on for the biggest tournament in college basketball. The clock is ticking, and a whopping $1 million is waiting for you. Warhorse Festival of Games is giving you a chance to earn the bragging rights of a lifetime. Oh, and one massive jackpot. Will your bracket beat them all? Here's how it works. Rack up bonus bracket entries by hitting the slots and placing sports and racing wagers starting March 1st at Warhorse Casino. Lock in your winning picks online after the teams are announced March 17th. Then activate your brackets in person at Warhorse Casino Lincoln by the 24th. The best brackets will win prizes each week, and a perfect bracket puts $1 million in your pocket. Get all the dates and details at warhorsecasino.com. Plus even more ways to score big. Only at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
And electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate season? Artisan chocolates? Of course, they have the best chocolates this side of the Atlantic. Friendly neighborhood coffee shop? Yup, they're that too. A nationally recognized top-tier brunch spot. Waffle weekends, baby. And the place to grab a gift for literally any occasion? Everybody loves chocolate. See for yourself at the Chocolate Season, 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead online at thechocolateseason.com.
Whether you're just starting your journey together or celebrating years of cherished memories, there's no better way to mark your love story than with fine jewelry. Join us at the Wedding Band Expo this weekend at Sartor Heyman Jewelers at South Point Pavilions. Enjoy an incredible 20% off all wedding and anniversary bands, anything bridal related. Don't miss this opportunity to find the ring of your dreams at a price you'll adore. Sutter Heyman Jewelry's Wedding Band Expo, this weekend, South Point Pavilions.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 21st and 22nd at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the enrollment fee. The next challenge begins on March 23rd. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, scattered showers likely throughout the day. It'll be breezy too, with an afternoon high around 50. Tonight, a slight chance of showers early, then mostly cloudy and a low around 36. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return. We'll see an afternoon high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
You know, it sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite. And we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here during On the Block. It's been a good one. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland are with you here, joined by DP. DP, what's up?
It's we're Friday. We made it to Friday. Job well done. Congratulations, everybody. Means a lot for you to get through the week. Whatever you went through this week, you got through it. And now you get to raise a glass, celebrate, be proud of yourself, and kick some Hoosier tail. Like that has to be the thing that rides hard. Hoosier Tail Friday.
We'll get back to that in just a sec. I want to shout out Dave and Fullerton here on the text line. Won some Supernovas tickets for free. But here's our kind of listener, DP. He got the tickets for free, making a donation to Cedars to keep the goodwill going. Dave.
That is exceptional.
Hats off. Job well done. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
That's the get down, right? That's the get down. We'll give away some more tickets. I think we have to do a ticket count over the next break and find out what we have in place that we can give away. We also have some Lincoln Stars tickets to give away. For this weekend, they've got a big weekend here as well. I do have a trivia question. You ready for this? Since we're talking Hall of Fame, right? Husker Hall of Fame. There is one Husker in the Husker Hall of Fame with the last name of V for victory. We will give you tickets. You can choose, but I would say we've got 2 Lincoln Stars games. We'll give you packs of 4 if you can tell us who that is. Who it be?
Who do it be?
Yeah.
V for victory.
V for victory.
Is that a first or last name?
That's the last name. That's the last name.
Here's the question Strick and I were working with.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as a ceiling in March in college basketball, men or women? Chubby Rhino said this on the text line. In my opinion, Nebraska's ceiling is winning 1 game in the Big Ten tournament and winning 1 game in the NCAA tournament. My argument is this, DP. Nebraska's hung tough with Illinois. Could have beat them on the road. Nebraska's beat both Purdue, Wisconsin, or all 3 of Purdue and Wisconsin Northwestern before they just wrapped up their win. Who's to say Nebraska can't make a mini run to the Big Ten tournament? And then in the NCAA tournament, March Madness, we've seen programs with fewer resources, fewer history, lesser talent, get hot and go further than Nebraska ever has. Saying winning 1 game as a ceiling, to me, is just not accurate.
No, I mean, it means one, you're not understanding what March Madness is about.
That's Stricky's point.
It means I get that history and realistically what you have in play, right? But the reality is, if you've knocked off the number 1 team in the country, the possibility is there for you to knock off everybody. That's why you get excited. That's why this thing matters, right? If you knocked off 2 top 5, top 10 teams, that means that no matter who you face, this is what it is. And look, 16s have a shot now. 15s have a shot. So there's no ceiling. I mean, Nebraska has imposed its own ceiling.
Yeah.
And you'd like for them to kind of break the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Next week, wherever that is. And unfortunately, there are people that will watch tonight with some regard for that. Like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And then if it happens tomorrow, okay, here it comes. But we did that with the women's, and the women's end up playing in the Big Ten tournament championship and had the lead late. And if you said to me, 100%, if you said to me right now, the same thing can be said for men's basketball, that come Sunday, they'll be playing in the Big Ten tournament championship and in a position to win the game with 3 minutes left. We're not surprised.
Okay.
We're not surprised. And so if you got to the NCAA tournament and Purdue was your first game, we're not going to the NCAA tournament thinking you can't beat Purdue.
Right.
Like you're not scared of Michigan State. You're not scared of none of them. So that's what you've done. That's where you are.
That's the work you put in.
Yeah. You listen, it's not, I know what you've called me before, but what I answer to now is up to me.
I think it's important to reiterate this too. DP, we're in the room with someone who's been there, done that. That's won a conference tournament, played 3 games in 3 days and gotten it done. Strick, for people that might have missed it, what goes into a conference tournament on a day-by-day basis?
Well, again, the mentality is 1 game at a time. You can't go into a game like really looking ahead. You don't do that. You don't ever look over somebody because it's win or go home at that moment. So you want to just basically take that into account. So it's never about what you did to them before or in the season or how well you played against them. It's all about right now. So it's, again, focusing on the areas that you do well. For us, against Oklahoma, we knew it was going to be a track meet. So who's going to have the most stamina? Who's going to want it more? Who's willing to run until you can't run no more is how we were going to play that game. That game ended up being like 90-77 or something like that. Like, we run it up. You know what I'm saying? Then the next time, the next game, it's different. You're not going to go into the same mindset with the same thing against Missouri. We knew it was going to be knockdown, drag out. We knew we run in situations
that you owed them.
We knew we owed them. So we knew we were going to defend them like white on rice, like fly on, we was going to be on jock straps. Like, we are going to be in your grill. We knew that was what it was going to be like. And then against Oklahoma State, it was like, it was a whole different set. The things you do well, you continue to do. Run with opportunity. We're going to double and rotate like a mother. Big country. And we're going to rebound as a team. So we knew that we had to put, like, if somebody was taking a shot weak side, I don't care what was going on, I'm going down and putting a double body with Bruce on big country because we're getting a rebound. And that game was a fight. I mean, 50-something points maybe. So we weren't running it up like we did against the other team. So each game had its own different dynamic, and that's what tournament play is about. You're not going to just go into each game thinking you're going to do what you do.
It's a different matchup.
Yeah.
Matchups make the tournament because, again, seeds are just an idea. It's just a concept. And then the matchups determine, and it could be a million things. Somebody's sick, somebody's hurt, somebody has an off day, somebody has a brain fart and does the thing that they've never done before. Tournament teams tend to advance because they don't beat themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they have rules in play for things that they are just not going to do themselves. Bad shots, we understand. Okay, if I take 10 shots that I've taken before with success, I've done well by my teammates. If I make 10 passes that I normally make, if I shout out 10 things that I see so my teammates have greater IQ, we're okay. I can have an off day shooting, but if I do all the other stuff, if I box out, I rebound, I defend, I don't turn the ball over. That's the thing. And then as many players as you can. And again, tournaments tend to be based on small guy play because they have the ball the most. And if they don't just freak out and decide, I'm going to throw the ball everywhere, anywhere, those teams have a pretty good shot of being successful. One of the NC State team tells you with those, and you forget how good their guards were, right? That Sidney Lowe, Derek Wittenberg, and Terry Gannon carried the ball.
Yeah.
They carried the ball. Like, it was like, wait a minute. Okay.
Twin Towers.
Like, we don't need Kozim McQueen, Lorenzo Charles, Thurl Bailey to really do much. We're going to do that. So the tournament, if the small guy play is good, and here's the number that jumps out for Nebraska and Indiana, that all of the character stats, which is not turning the ball over, having at least 4 players with multiple assists,
loose balls,
turnover assist ratio looks as close to 2-to-1 as possible. Those things will tell us, and then you're not getting just killed on the board.
That's what Indiana's going to try to do tonight.
Right?
They're going to try to hammer them on the board.
Right. So if you do the things that everybody can do, which is distribute the ball, take care of the ball, rebound the ball, the shooting the ball aspect of it becomes easier. It becomes easier because you're not going through those stress-free possessions where you're just going, okay, we got to get a bucket here. No, we're getting a bucket.
Just how's it going to look?
Because we're doing the right thing all the time.
Well, we talked about that, DP. Here's one thing we talked about.
Can we pause 10 seconds for ID and then talk about it?
Pause.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Apologies, Stricky.
No, one thing I can appreciate is DP comes into the station and DP just has a depth to his mind sometimes that when you really think about it, it's just realistic. And he comes in talking about simplicity. And we're talking about things that we witness in just everyday life that is wild, but it's just there's a simplicity to it, but we make it more complicated than it really is.
In the best way, right? And the worst way.
And so the point I want you to elaborate on is that's in essence what you're talking about. If you just simplify things and don't make them overcomplicated, though that tension doesn't have the opportunity to creep in. When you're overthinking, then your mind gets so jumbled up with mess that you're now not able to just play with the freedom that you normally would just have to play with, and that's brought on sometimes by yourself by just overdoing things that you don't necessarily need to do.
Chaos happens because you aren't sure about what you should be doing. That's the only definition of chaos.
Lack of preparation.
Like, wait a minute, here we go. Like, it's this thing, right? Right. Nobody is playing tonight in the Big Ten tournament that doesn't know how to play basketball. There's not one person taking the floor. There's not one person coaching on the sideline that doesn't know the game of basketball.
Funny you didn't mention the refs, but
no, they know. They know. Here's the thing. And Strick will confirm this. Referees work from an opposite space in that they look for unnatural movement. They've seen every movement that can possibly take place on a basketball court. What they blow the whistle on is unnatural movement. Wait a minute. Bodies don't bend that way. That's not a normal step for you.
Physics don't work like that.
That's not a normal landing for you as you shoot a jumper from 18 feet, which is different than you shooting it from 25 feet, which is different than you shooting it from 3 feet. They know what it looks like. And they know when they see Strick defend that, you know what? That hand placement is normal for Strick, and it's normal for the game. It's when Strick goes bar arm and then extends the elbow, they go, Coaches work from the same way. They know what their team is supposed to look like. They know what the system is supposed to look like. They know what the play call is supposed to look like. Coaches freak out and get mad when it doesn't look the way that it's supposed to, when it looks unnatural. The first question the coach says is, what are you doing? Because that's not a thing we coach. That's not a thing that we drill. That's not a thing that we do. And that's when coaches freak out in a tournament. Well, what are you doing? You're doing a thing that, oh, wait a minute. Show me where we ran where you going to take spin move, step back, pump fake, step under. We didn't practice that.
Remember the Patrick Ewing thing at Georgetown in the conference tournament?
Yeah.
When did you practice that shot?
Like, when did you do that? So it's always, and it's Strick and I were talking yesterday, and we talk about from sports. I was doing a coaching panel, and they asked me the funniest thing about coaching and about leading. And I said, because we have complicated things in our mind, things that we know in our mind, to a point where the Dallas Cowboys, who, if you said offensively, who is one of the more talented offenses, player for player, position by position, the Dallas Cowboys would come into the conversation. And we so complicate things that the best in the world require simplicity. And the example for that is, they get in a huddle. They know down and distance. The crowd's cheering. You look over the defense. Dak calls the play. Everybody claps to say that they heard him. They clap to say we heard them. That's what the clap is for. Got it. I can go to work now. I know what to do. I know when to do it. I know how to do it. Then they go line up. And through all the things that are going on, Dak has to once again reset. And how does he do it? Here we go.
Go.
You just took the greatest football players on the planet, and you had to simplify it to say, okay, come back to one. Come back to one. Come back to one. That's tournament basketball. That's playoff football. That's playoff pitch, baseball, all of those things.
And what's crazy about what DP is saying right now, because I just gave him a perspective from a point guard perspective, of how crazy the game could simply be, and I watch it consistently happen. And I'm not just talking about Nebraska. I'm talking about every college team in the country where you're running a set. And because you're running the set is the continuous motion. And there in the set, there are things that happen within the set. Follow me now.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that happen within the set that should literally go to the simplest of the base of the denominator and the easiest of the denominator that breaks it down, that you could just stop right there at that moment. And it's rink mass, pick and roll with whoever. And the point guard, Sam Hoiberg's guy, switches on the rink mass, and you're running the set. Everything at that moment ends. That happened? Rink, back him down. I'm coming over, and I'm dropping it off. Because every shot's going to open up to me at that particular point. The minute that rink mass touches this ball, we ain't got to run no more picks, no more dribble handoffs, no more screens. But what teams like Nebraska sometimes will do is they'll go back and pick with the same guy.
And old Nebraska teams. Like, old Nebraska teams will do it.
And
Large
just
man,
switch right back.
small
I'm
man,
like,
go. Well, it was always, this is what's really funny. Strick and I were back in the conference room,
man.
and Strick was standing by the door, and I went into point guard mode, and I literally said, Strick and I, with a basic agreed principle in basketball, could run a play, not have to say a word about what I was doing or what he was doing, and we could run a play without any discussion and get through 3 rotations just because of it. That's what should happen today. That no matter when people say you watch Fred Hoiberg not yelling, he doesn't have to. He's already done the work. The players have already done the work. This is where Nebraska gets the payoff. If they hit shots and play as a team, they're going to beat Indiana, and they'll play again on Saturday.
That's what we're looking forward to.
That's
Huskers
it.
and Hoosiers late tonight.
That's it.
I know we're talking some Hall of Fame. You asked the trivia question. I'm sure we'll answer on old school. But here's this. Speaking of Hall of Fame, Frank Solich headed to the Mid-American Conference Hall of Fame, made official today.
We're going to talk
Congrats,
about Hall
Coach.
of Fame. Yeah, we're going to talk about Hall of Fame.
Perfect. Again, Huskers, Hoosiers, 8 o'clock tonight. Hall of Fame talk coming up on Old School. Novas tomorrow. Chances to win tickets still ahead. Stricky, it's been a good week. Glad you're back, my man.
Yeah, it's been a great week to be back. And all the listeners, we appreciate you guys continuously for tapping in with us because we're on the block. But Old School is next. We're going to see you Monday. We'll be right back. Monday on the block.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the